Hey guys, Thundera here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my other videos. Today we're back with another build video. We are building another all one color tiny home. So let's get into it. So first things first, as always, we are going to spin the wheel, and we got the color blue. So we are building on Lasuli Point in Copperdale, the world that comes with high school years. It ends up being a tier 2 tiny home. Of course, it's all blue, or at least what the game categorizes as blue. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom for 29,455 simoleons, and it will be available for download on my gallery. My ID is Thundera Shadow. So right now I'm just trying to figure out the layout of the house and how big I want it to be and everything. And I really like how it ended up. So we're just going to roof it because I really like this shape. It was something different. I don't normally have this sort of a shape, I guess you could say. But I really liked how this house came out. And in my opinion, it kind of fit together and the story just kind of came together really nicely in the end. So now I'm just looking for doors. And at first, I wasn't really going for like a cottagey feel, but I ended up going with these cottage living doors. And I'm really glad that I did because the cottage slash country sort of came through a lot in this house. So right now I am putting in this base game door for the front door. It does not stay. I end up using a different door. And then I'm putting in this half wall sort of as a separator between the entrance and some part of the rest of the house, but it ends up not staying the half wall because of the fact that it took up too much space and it just wasn't a good use of that space. So now we're putting on some blue shingles, and then we're going to go and look at like the siding and the stone and stuff. And that was probably one of the hardest parts of this build, just because there really wasn't any options that I was looking for. Like, I was looking for certain colors or whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, I just couldn't get the right shade of blue that I was hoping for. So, but I really like how it came out in the end. Right now I have that stone over there on that side, and then this like panel right here. And then I'm just playing with the roof at the back. I didn't really like how it was like partway through that roof, so I tried it all the way. I didn't like that, so I just pulled it in. And then we're going to go and put on some roof trim. I didn't like how much it stood out, so I went with the smallest one there. And then just looking through some more of the siding and paint options because I still just wasn't certain that I was happy with what I had. The paneling actually stays. The stone changes. I'm fixing to change it to like a darker stone from Cottage Living. That ends up changing as well. And then this round window is also from Cottage Living. And then just going to go and look at the other windows. And this window that I just put down is from Cottage Living as well. And I was going to use like all Cottage Living windows, but I just didn't like how the shutters took up so much of the space. So right now I'm putting down these growing together windows, but I didn't really like those either. So the windows kind of take on several different types and transformations and everything. I'm just trying to figure out if the Cottage Living windows would have worked. I just didn't really like how I like the one up in the front because it's got like that partly open window, but I just didn't like the rest of them. So I had to go back and try a few different types of windows. I put this base game window in. I put these like rounded windows in. And just trying to figure out what combination works best, especially with the windows that I already had, because I loved the cottage windows I had already put on there. So now I'm putting in this big base game window and then just trying to see what else would fit where. So just playing around with it, and then I put in this smaller base game window on the side, and then I put another one of those bigger ones on the back of the bedroom. And then I'm looking for a back door because there's like like behind this lot, there's a spot where you can just like sit out over and look over the ocean or the sea or whatever it is. So I actually went back and changed the front door to this door as well, and that is from base game. And I don't know that I've ever seen this door, but it is so pretty. So now we are looking at, I wanted to put in like a fake porch, but I didn't really want to use floor tiles because then that would bring up the tile count for the tiny home. And I kind of wanted to stay at least at tier 2, so now I'm looking at putting in lighting so I can see where, like what the lights look like. And I put in this light here on in front by the front and back doors just to light it up a little bit. And then I put in this chandelier from high school years. And then just looking for lights for the other parts of the house. And just trying to see what would work and what is just too small. I put in this cottage living like lantern light into the bathroom. And then I go with the dream home decorator lights in the living room area. And then just really looking, trying to figure out what to put in the bedroom. I didn't want to have all the same lights. I didn't want them all to be the saucer lights. So I went with this high school years light. And then I put in this flooring from Cats and Dogs. This is probably one of my favorite wooden floors that's not brown. I really like this like bluish gray tone. And then just trying to figure out where I want the kitchen, and I put it on an angle by using Control F to get the triangle tiles. And then just trying to figure out, this is where I ended up deleting the half wall just because it took up a lot of space to have that in there. And then just trying to figure out what wallpaper would go or what tiles would go with this flooring that I had picked out. And I just really didn't like any of the options together. So I ended up going with this chevron tile from Growing Together for both the kitchen and the bathroom tile. And then as far as the flooring goes, I went with this high school years because it had that light blue in it, so it worked very well with the tile for the walls that I had picked. And then just looking for the rest of the house. And it kind of came together quite well. I picked this base game wallpaper for the rest of the main area. I really love it, and the light blue just pulls off of the rest of the light blue that there is. And then it was just a matter of the bedroom, and I found this blue brick and I really like it, so I decided to change that on the outside to that instead of the dark stone. And then back to the bedroom, I go with this wallpaper for 2 of the walls from the Decor to the Max kit. And then just looking for something to accent that, and I go with this light blue from the base game. And then it was really just about furnishing and getting everything together. So we're going to start in the kitchen, and I go with these counters from Dream Home Decorator. I really love this dark blue color. I thought it pulled in the door really well because the door is a bit darker than the rest of the, like, everything else that I had used was light blue basically, and the door just pulled that in. This fridge is from Parenthood, I believe. And I really love how the cabinet around this fridge matched, or at least in my opinion, matched very well with the rest of the cabinets. The stove was a little more difficult. I had to go with this Growing Together stove. And it's not the exact blue that I was hoping for, but I thought that the light blue with the dark blue played very well together. I put in this dark blue sink from the Cool Kitchen pack. And then it was just a matter of finding a curtain for above the sink. I went with this cottage living one because it kind of pulled in both a little bit of a dark blue and a light blue. And then as far as trash cans go, on the outside I put this trash can right here from Get Together, and then just a base game one inside. And then just going to go and grab a Seasons mailbox. And I really liked this one, so that's what we went with. And then going back inside, I went with looking at the furniture for the living room first. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get much or anything big, so I went with this base game couch in the light bluish gray. And then I really wanted to make sure I had enough room with the way that I was going to have the living room set up, that I had still had enough room for at least a 2-person dining table. At first I was going with this table, but I don't know, it just really didn't work well with the space for me. So I decided to go back and find a different table, and I ended up with this one. I really like how it has like some of the dark blue tones, but also some of the light blue, and it kind of pulled off of the kitchen a little bit. And then these chairs are from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and they just seem to fit perfectly with this table. It looks like they match perfectly, so just looking to find something to put on the table now. I thought about putting a plant, but I just didn't really like how it looked, and it kind of took up too much space. So I went into clutter, and I grabbed these salt and pepper shakers from the Cool Kitchen pack, and I just put them in the middle of the table, and then just going to move back onto the rest of the living room space, going to grab a TV. I didn't have many options. I was not putting the penguin, so I had to delete that window, and I put in this TV slash bookcase slash radio from Tiny Living, and then I went back and I put in these windows from the base game. Just trying to make sure that there was still windows in. So, and then just going to look at some curtains, trying to figure out what would look best. At first I go with this curtain from Island Living, but I just really didn't like it as much, so I put on a curtain on this other window from high school years, and then it was just a matter of finding some that either complemented it or went well together, something like that. So just looking through the options once again, trying to figure it out. And I didn't want something that was going to be like 5 times bigger than the windows, so it was definitely a balancing act in picking these curtains. And I ended up going with these from base game, just something simple. And then this rug from Horse Ranch is gorgeous. So I put that into the living room space along with a plant. And then I definitely wanted like this little space over here to be an office sort of space, like with a desk and a computer and everything. So I grabbed this desk from Dream Home Decorator, a base game chair, and then the blue computers options were limited. So I grabbed the one from the Pastel Pop Kit. I put on this bookcase because I know that you could use the TV as a bookcase as well, but I really like how that looked. And then I grabbed a like a little journal, and then some post-it notes and pens and things, almost as if somebody has been writing or they want to write stuff down as they go. I do that a lot. Usually it's my phone beside me where I can just jot down notes real fast, but sometimes I'll have a notebook or something. So it definitely felt like it was perfect for that to be there. And then I'm just looking through the wall decor. I really wanted like something by the front door as a hanging spot for your coats and things, so I grabbed that from Snowy Escape. And then I was just trying to make sure that there was nothing else needed on this first level. Or on this first room, I really wanted some more skill items. I found this blue telescope. I put it outside for later. And then just looking through, trying to see if there's anything else. And I thought that this guitar from Outdoor Retreat, I believe, would work perfectly. I was going to put it outside, but I decided to put it inside by the TV. And this is sort of where this person is coming together. I think that this sim really likes music. They really like nature, so they're outside a lot as well. So now we're just going to work on the bathroom, and this is the tub shower combo from Growing Together. And then I'm just going to put in this toilet from the fitness pack. And then just going to go and grab a sink, and this one is from City Living. And then it was really just about like the mirror, so I grabbed this base game one. And then we're just going to put in some clutter, and I just grabbed like some thing a soap bottle, soap dispenser, some toothbrush, toothpaste, towels, hand towels, a robe, Sadly, there was no toilet paper that I could find. So, yeah, we're just going to move on to the bedroom. And I really love this bed that came with Horse Ranch. However, it just didn't really fit the vibe here, so I did not use it. I could have probably made it fit the vibe, especially that one that had like the trees on it, but I really like the bed that I ended up going with as well. I ended up going with this one right here from Cats and Dogs, and the colors really, to me, matched well. And I grabbed these nightstands also from Cats and Dogs. I really love how they sort of play off of the floor, and they're almost in that same aesthetic. And by this time, the sim was kind of coming into view, so I just put up a wall clock. And like I said, I think that this sim is really into nature and music and just sort of having a slower paced life. So I put up this wardrobe from base game, moved the uh, window over, and then just went for some curtains. And I used the same curtains as I did in the living room for the window by the desk, just the same ones from high school years. I really love these curtains. So then it was just really about like little touches. I put this like little flower arrangement from Horse Ranch on this side table, and then on the other side I just put some of these books from base game. So, and then I just looking for a rug, and I had saw one earlier. I really love this rug. I did not use it. Saw one earlier though from Horse Ranch as well. This one right here, I really love this rug. So, I'm definitely gonna have to build a little bit more with Horse Ranch. I built this on the first day that I actually had the pack, so it took me a little bit to get that pack. And then I was really just looking for some wall art, just something to put up a little bit. I didn't have many spaces, so I put this like map up above the desk, and I was looking for something for above the dining room table. I really just did not find anything that I liked for above there. So I went back to the bedroom and just looking for something to put in this one space. Like I said, there wasn't much wall space because I really love the wallpaper on the other two walls, and I did not want to hang something up on top of that. So I ended up going with this picture right here from Dream Home Decorator, and it really brings in more of the nature loving side of this sim. So then I just really wanted to go ahead and add some trees and some landscaping, and we have blue trees. I had no idea, but the movie Hangout pack has blue trees, and I really had to use those. Then just going to put some bushes in up front. I didn't think that there would be like too much because I don't think that this sim is into gardening. They just love nature and they love. I did put a flower arranging table, so they do love flower arranging. But I just think that they love nature. I don't think that they're into gardening necessarily. So they just like to sit outside and listen to the birds type of a sim. And then I thought maybe they're a social sim. So maybe they like host some parties or something. And I was going to put a bar, but then I rethought it. I just didn't think that that would fit with the sim that I was already thinking. But I did put a couple of benches out here. Maybe some sims are walking by and they're outside doing their flower arranging and they invite them just for a chat and for a drink or something, or for like some sort of dish that they have done inside, and they bring it on out and have some cookies or something out here and just have a chat. So I did put a couple benches and a little table, and I was looking to see if there was anything else I wanted to add, either inside or out. Just trying to see if there's anything else I need. And I really wanted something by the trash can, so I went with these flowers from Romantic Garden. Again, I don't think that they're into gardening too terribly much, but I do think that they are maybe a little bit because they do have the flower arranger table. And then I put another tree back here with the telescope. And honestly, I felt like that was probably good. I did not really think that there needed to be much more. I was looking through to see if there was anything else that just kind of caught my attention. And I did find this like hanging flower basket that I put up by the flower arranging table. But other than that, I really did not think that there needed to be much else. So we're going to move on to the terrain paint and just putting it around the trees and under the house and everything. And the path to the house was a little bit more interesting because I didn't know if I wanted to go with the dark stone or what, but I kind of still wanted to stick with like that grayish color just because that kind of goes a little bit more with the blue. So I'm just putting the terrain paint around the house, under the table, flowers, the benches, all of that. And we're just going to continue on with that. Like I said earlier, this house will be available for download on my gallery. My ID is Thundera Shadow. And it is a really fun house that I've really enjoyed building. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my other videos. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.